Welcome back to NBA Cinema. Look, guys, so it looked like Patrick Beverley not letting up on Trae Young anytime soon. Now, this all started when Pat Bev said that the All Stars don't play hard in the All Star game. Trae Young goes under that comment section and says, "Let us All Stars worry about that." Basically, saying that he was above his pay grade or speaking on something that he doesn't have firsthand experience in. And just to give you a little bit of what was said back and forth, I'm going to play these clips first.
Because you play in June every year, huh? You've been able to play with all these guys, and you talk about impact winning. Where was your real impact in winning? I know you were labeled as a tough defender, a great defender, and the accolades say that you were. But I promise you, anytime you was on the court with me, I was never scared of you. I was never scared of Patty Bev. I promise you.
You had no room to say anything. You haven't done anything. So, when it comes to criticism, why the you can't be criticized? Like, what have you done where you can't be criticized? Like, we criticize Russell Westbrook, a two-time MVP. Motherfuckers call him Westbrook. We criticize LeBron James, right? We criticize all these people. What? Who the said you can't be criticized? Like, you haven't done anything.
So that has spilled over into the start of this season. And I want to take a look at Trae Young's stats so far this season. You can see his shooting percentages right there: 36 from the field, 19 from the arc. Granted, it's only 4 games. He's giving you 9.5 assists a game, but those 20 points are coming with high volume shooting and low percentage shooting. I'd love to see that around 43, 44 for a player his size. And on this page, I don't know exactly what his turnovers are, but typically he's a high turnover guy as well. That last game, 1 for 10, Pat is really going to lean in on. But let's look at what Pat's been saying about his performance.
Here we go. Oh, can't switch to pick and roll. Here we go. Oh, almost charged. Almost got it though, buddy. Oh, cone. 2 dribbles, value classic. He's a cone. He's definitely a cone. Let me see. In zone now. Oh, fake effort. Get back in the play. Grady Dick won't put one on him. We got, oh my God, twing twing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Cone. Why is he showing? Is he a European forward man? Why is he showing? Why is a guard showing on the guard? No, body. Why is a guard showing on a guard? Look at that. No effort. Then he's still showing. Look at this. Bucket. Oh, my goodness. Look, gotta help him. Can't even go switch. Post him. And one.
Now, if you remember after that initial exchange of the clips I showed you prior to that last one, the Atlanta Hawks came out and trolled Patrick Beverley, showing the plays where Pat was guarding Trae Young and saying pretty much what you were saying you can't even back up yourself because Trae gave you problems. And Pat Bev didn't forget about that. Let's check out what he had to say. So Patrick Beverley says, "Belt to A Bulls. Way to beat the Hawks." He's in his trolling bag deep. He says, at Trae Young and at the Atlanta Hawks did all that talking, all that trolling just to lose by 20 to the Raptors. Talking about playoffs, hold your nose, stink. And, he quotes Trae Young's stat line, which I mentioned earlier. He had 21 points and 17 assists, but shot 7 for 22 from the field, took 22 shots to get 21 points. 1 for 10 from the arc. So just 10% from beyond. He said, y'all come on, relax on Trae. Just a tough shooting night. He gonna get it right. Go Hawks, go, with laughing emojis. So Pat Bev is deep in his troll bag. He don't care, and he's gonna be on Trae Young's top. People's looking at him like, wait, you don't even have a team, and you're ruining your opportunity to potentially get called up for a team, which I don't know if Pat Bev is even concerned about that. I don't know if he want to play for the Hawks or play there, but you are still in a position where a team might have given you a call, but that's not one that's going to give you a call as long as Trae Young is there. But Is Pat Bev wrong? Because I know this has been a conversation about Trae Young. I remember that one year where they went and they really challenged Milwaukee. It was the same year KD's foot was on the line, and Milwaukee goes on and wins that title. That was their best year. But ever since then, they haven't been able to duplicate that type of success. It seems like a one off, and it was right before some rule changes too. Where Trey used to jump into defenders a lot when he got in the paint. He would get a lot of foul shots. They kind of took that away, and I've seen his shooting struggle since then. But Trey has the ability to penetrate and pass the ball. His shot selection has always been questionable at best to me. People compared him to Steph Curry coming out of Oklahoma. I don't know why they did that because a lot of what you see Steph Curry is able to do is off the ball. He'll give up the ball to Draymond, give up the ball, and he'll run off 4 or 5 different screens. And he's not just a three-point shooter. One of the more underrated things about Steph Curry is his ability to get a backdoor, especially in his prime, backdoor layup. He does a lot behind the play, too, that he don't get as much credit for. Look at old tape of Steph, see how many times he done slid behind the defense for a layup, how many times he shoots those in-between floaters and things like that. It's just the threes that people remember, but he typically gets himself in a rhythm. If he's not wide open, Steph isn't just a settler early on. He tries to get him something to get going. So I never understood that comparison. Trae, is somewhat of a chucker from deep, and I don't think he has to be. I don't think he has to be because he has a nice float game. He has big athletic wings around him now. I would presume, though, if they continue on this path, this would have to be Trae Young's last season in Atlanta because how long can you continue to do this and look this way? You have young, promising players. Trae's defensive deficiency, I think the question you have to ask with him, what he can't control in size, is he giving the maximum effort that you think he could give? Is he a player that you can win with? He put up stats, but those last night were empty. 1 for 10 from the arc, 7 for 22 from the field. Meaning you're not getting to the foul line if you only had 21 points. So that's telling me you were a negative in that game. You didn't help us win. You didn't give us an opportunity to win, and you the guy with the ball in your hand making the decisions. So I don't know, man. Do y'all think Trae Young is a good point guard? I mean, do you think he's the type of guy who can be your franchise player? That's a big ask for anybody. Do you think he's that type of point guard, or do you think he's just a guy? And there's nothing wrong with that. In the NBA, you're making a lot of money. You made it to the highest level more than any of us will ever see. But do you think Atlanta should continue to build around Trae Young, or should they start to look at Jalen Johnson, Okonkwo, Dyson Daniels, or even trade Trae Young away for a player or a potential draft pick? People saying you should have traded for Austin Reeves, before LA knew what they had, But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.